All right, welcome to another edition of Matt Does Math. And we're going to go ahead and look at some statistics today. We're going to focus in on using Desmos in order to calculate a few things. We're going to look at using Desmos for the mean, the median. We're going to quickly make a histogram, and we are also going to quickly make a box plot and find our 5-number summary, min, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, and such. So we're going to start with some data about a marble that is rolling on carpet. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug that data in to a list. So let's go over here. We have a group of students. They're measuring the distance that a marble actually rolls on carpet. So when we do this, we're going to start with a capital letter. That's going to be the name of our list. We're going to call it A. And then what we're going to do is make that equal to some brackets. We're going to start plugging in the numbers. And you'll notice as I plug in these numbers, I am not leaving space after each comma. And as I'm working through, I am going to separate each number with a comma, and it should be counting the elements as I add more numbers in. So 194, comma. Now, if you're using numbers that are in the thousands, 166, 216, 200, if you're using numbers that are in the thousands, what you're not going to want to do is use commas because it will mess up and count it as an element. So 194, 166, comma, 216, comma, and 200. And then the last thing we're going to do is come down here, find these last two numbers, which is going to be 176 and 184. Okay, there's 14 numbers in that list. There's 14 numbers in this list. So the first thing, let's go ahead and do, it says, what is the mean that represents the average distance of that a marble will roll on this carpet? Nice and easy. I just come over to Desmos and I actually type in mean. That's straightforward, and a capital A, so it recognizes the list name. And I say, well, the mean is 184. So that's all I'm going to write. And say, okay, well, the mean is 184. We can also use X bar. That is our symbol for mean, 184. Okay. The next one is say we're going to find the median. So straightforward. We go to the same thing. We're going to find the median of it. Okay. And so when we do that, we just simply come over to the list. We say median. We type in median, and then we recognize the list. We reference the list again. The median is 184. So what we're doing now is we say, okay, well, we know the mean. Now we know the median. The median is 184, just like that. Now, let's take this information and let's go to the next step. Let's do a graphic. We're going to make a histogram. But when we make this histogram, we're going to make a bin width of 5. Remember, a bin width is the size of the interval. Size of interval. Okay, so it's going to be the size of the interval for each of the bars. Now, I know I'm not supposed to use the word bars in this case because bars really in math and histogram is we use the word bin. Okay, I'm using bars just so you'll recognize the language. But it is a bin. And how we do this is we just simply go back to our data, and guess what? We use mean, we use median, we're going to use histogram. So I'm going to type in histogram. I'm going to reference the list A, and then what you're going to notice right here, or at least hopefully you notice, is right after I did that, there's a data set, which was A, and a comma bin width. And the bin width is 1 right now. So in the list, I'm going to say a comma, I want a bin width of 5, and it's not showing up because it's off of our data. I'm going to jump out here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for that data right over here, and I'm going to move it into place. Okay. If you've got a touch screen, this really makes it a lot easier. Now, we can manipulate the data to be as visual as we want to get it, however we want it to look. I could change that bin width to 10. I can change that bin width to 20. And I can change that bin width to back to 5, which is what I asked for. So in this assignment, what you're going to do is you're just simply going to take a screenshot of this, And what I'd like you to have on there is just a screenshot of the histogram with your data. And you're gonna go back to your class kick. You're gonna go back to your class kick and you're simply going to put that back into the assignment. Okay. Now, we've done mean, median, and histogram. One last thing that we're gonna do is create a box plot and look at the 5-number summary and list out the summary. So that is our next step. It says use Desmos to create a box plot and give us that 5-number summary. So how are we going to do that? Guess what? We're going to type in box plot. So I'm going to turn off histogram. I'm going to, just by clicking on the button over here, I'm going to turn in box plot, all in lowers, of course. And then I'm going to reference the list, which is A. Okay. Right now, what you're going to see is just a little bit of data coming in, and that's because box plot's going to be graphed really small because it's not measuring so much the frequency. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at it, and there's our box plot. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in on it. Now you have some choices. You can you can exclude the outliers, or you can keep outliers. So right now you're looking at outliers. I'm going to go ahead and exclude those outliers just for this video. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the 5-number summary. This is how you do it. You do stat, and then you're going to type in stats. Okay, so you're going to type in stats A, and what will happen is you'll get the min, the quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the max. So let's go ahead and label that in our drawing and say, okay, this is our min, which is 152. This is our quartile 1, which is 182. Right here in the middle is our median. Median is 184. Right down here, we have our quartile 3, or our upper quartile, which is 186. And then, of course, we have our max. And our max is going to be 216. Now, once again, we can turn on and deal with a visual of our outliers. Notice things still line up exactly the same in terms of our min and our quartiles and our medians and our maxes. But we can also look at it in terms of without outliers. Once you have this for the assignment, you're going to screenshot it and post it into your class kick so we can analyze it. All right, I hope that helps you out with being able to figure out how to do some statistical stuff with Desmos. You all have a great afternoon, and don't forget, Matt Does Math is rad.